to you by me to bring you the most annoying camera window possible. To my left is disembodied voice. Behind me is Sleepy Man. And me as a shitlord playing this game. Alright, let's continue.
Hi, peoples. I'm disembodied voice.
Alright. Bloodbath. Deduction space icon. Alright. So I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened. Unfortunately, we're at this continue off. Oh, good. It restarted. Cool. Nice. Quiet here. Did you full screen this?
Yeah,
No.
Holmes,
No.
what happened?
Full screen this will mess up. Oh.
I feel deathly. And you look it. Let me examine you.
Oh, and I
Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits.
Okay, we got to examine Holmes with our Watson eyes.
The pupil is dilated. The temperature appears to be normal. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate and count. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Oh, I had to let it go. Okay.
Oh yeah, this is an Xbox controller.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate. I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
Concentrate.
We need to concentrate.
As you still have your license possible, fuck.
It's definitely not a whole thing.
I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats.
That makes sense.
I need to concentrate.
It's a rhythm game.
A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute. But you're dying, Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here, drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and Datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
Good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the buff, but... what?
As I said.
And they were tied together.
You are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic? Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes. And these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman Baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
beautiful place.
With a dreadful murder. The body of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe is still in the steam room. It has not been touched, per your usual instructions, Mr. Holmes. I shall be waiting for you here, but please hurry.
Are you able to identify the men who were with the victim in the steam room?
Yes. The manager of the bath, Sir Gregory Pitkin, a lad from the City Council, Garrow, and an archaeologist by the name of Blinkhorn. I think the plump one, Garrow, did it. He doesn't seem right in the head.
Well, we shall see. You found no murder weapon?
No, and that's why I called you. All three witnesses and the victim were locked in when the murder occurred, and they remained so until we got here. We even had to pick the lock to enter.
I see. Was there anyone else here, apart from those gentlemen in the steam room?
Yes, a Mr. Phillips. He was the one who called the police. He'll be able to give you more details.
Alright, Phillips.
Are the steam rooms on the other side, Mr. Holmes?
You can say more!
Wow, he must be the smartest policeman in all of England. It's say more than just England. England. He still can't say England correctly, but good on him. Give him a point.
Good day to you, Mr. Phillips. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague, Dr. Watson. Would you be so kind as to answer our questions?
Certainly, sir.
Alright, tell me everything with your face.
So you've written all over your face, you have white wrinkles,
Fastidious.
where guilty is all over your face.
Stretch collar.
Yes.
Scissor cut. Ruins himself. Lives alone.
Really? That's a long jump.
Well, you think if he had a wife or was living with someone, he could get someone else to cut his hair instead of cutting his own hair and slicing out a bit of his ears while doing it. Manchester City. And it's like, oh, please, let me cut your hair. Get away from me, woman. I'm a man and I cut my own hair.
Cut my own hair.
Well, you look kind of a little downy.
Please tell us the chain of events from the start of your day. Everything that you can remember. The slightest detail may be of importance.
Very well, sir. I came in at 6:30 this morning, and I opened the baths. I made sure that the room was clean, and I prepared the towels. The brazier was still burning.
There was a fire burning all night.
Yes, Sir Gregory ordered me to light the brazier yesterday. It takes some time until the room is fully heated. The gentlemen had a meeting at 9 o'clock this morning. I wanted everything to be perfect. They'd been in the steam room for 20 minutes when I suddenly heard shouting. I ran to the door, but it was closed. I couldn't open it. So I ran out to the street to call for the police. One constable came up, and then there were others, and they picked the lock. Then Inspector Lestrade came along, and he told us that nothing should be touched.
Did you receive any other visitors this morning?
No one. Until these gentlemen arrived. Sir Gregory was the first. And then, while we were discussing work details, Sir Rodney and Mr. Blinkhorn arrived, and Mr. Garrow followed.
What happened after that?
I waited until they'd all entered the steam room, then I returned to the hall. The changing room door was open, so I should hear if they needed anything.
You would have heard if someone had entered or left the steam room.
Certainly, sir. These doors make a lot of noise.
Are the steam rooms on the other side, Mr. Holmes?
Thanks.
Thanks, gonna let us in?
No. Why, Mr. Holmes? Damn it.
What if they want us to abandon the case?
There is no escape, not even.
Are the steam rooms on the other side, Mr. Holmes? Are the steam rooms on the other side, Mr. Holmes? Are the steam rooms on the other side, Mr. Holmes?
Oh my god, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to door.
Are the steam rooms on the other side,
I'm
Mr.
comfortable talking
Holmes?
to the door.
Is there a third door or something?
I suppose there is. There's one over here.
Steam was the inner side.
On the other side, sir.
Oh. He wasn't saying the steam room was on the other side of the door. He meant on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, I kept thinking that he was actually telling me it's the steam room is through here. Let me open it. Like, no, you're opening the wrong door. Oh.
Can I open it anyway?
I feel fucking stupid.
No, that's what I...
These clothes belong to one of the suspects from the steam room.
Or any fucking murder mystery.
Holmes, have problems? No. You have problems by the steam room? No. No.
Clothes belonging to one of the suspects.
Exit.
Holmes, that's the fire escape. Holmes, that's the chimney. Holmes, look down there. That's the bin chute.
Expensive clothes belonging to one of the men from the steam room. Champagne for a special occasion.
Very special. Unplug it.
Unopened. It was intended to be enjoyed after the steam session.
Why would you bring the bottle in there with you?
An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled.
Inside a steam room. Good job, you guys. You did a good job.
Figure it out. They died of dehydration. And they get to the champagne bar quickly enough.
They couldn't get to enough.
Good Lord, Holmes.
Ah, death with a peculiarly Roman piquancy.
Like the one you almost had an hour ago.
Let us forget about that.
There was only one hit from the weapon. It pierced the right eye straight through to the brain. Death would have been instantaneous.
Not really. He first would have felt my eye. And that's would have been those last thoughts. Terrifying.
The wound should not have bled so profusely. This pool is rather large.
Maybe he's just a bleeder, says Lestrade. Damn it, Lestrade. Why are you so fucking stupid?
Some dirt or earth. I'll take a sample. Look, Watson. He was wearing a ring. He very likely removed it before the steam session.
Maybe he's a man who loves his jewelry. I'm not sure. Step away from Hello, Watson.
G. Newell and Sons, steam specialists, Seattle, WA.
It's a few states away, but well, you know, we're really close.
With the steam on, I'm unable to see even a few feet away.
It's the next city over.
It's the next city over.
Ah, but which direction?
What the fuck? Why?
Oh my gosh, that creeped me out. Are we just...
It's horrible. So Rodney, he's dead. Can't we speak about it somewhere else?
No. Sweat your ass off.
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment. Mr. Holmes?
Do you have anything else to say?
Mr. Holmes?
Nope, you can only say Mr. Holmes. He's just a tender boy. He can't handle it anymore.
The grid cannot be removed.
The immovable grid.
I should check this blood sample at Baker Street.
That was the gross sound. Look at that. Fucking murder weapon. What is it? Oh, yeah, of course.
This key was covered in blood. I should ask Phillips about it.
I'm gonna re-examine his boudet. Nope, nothing new.
I cannot leave until I have seen the body.
What?
Apparently you missed something.
I missed. Wow, how did you miss the body, Holmes? I guess I didn't see all this body.
Nope, you have to remove this one.
I see the wound. I looked at his head. I've seen enough of his head. Look at the blue. The blue. That's how you say it in Spanish. Still more in his right hand. His right hand? Right hand.
Death is very recent, between 30 minutes to 1 hour ago.
Oh, shit. That is very, very recent.
I think we have found all that we can here, taking into consideration the abysmal lighting. Constable, we have finished with the body.
Take it away.
Take it away.
We don't have many leads here.
What concerns me is that we still have to find the murder weapon.
Mr. Holmes?
Please have the body removed without disturbing anything else in the room.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
I was wondering, Holmes, it's fairly reckless to carry out a murder inside a closed chamber. Why do you suppose they did it?
There are a great many possibilities. The murderer was in a hurry, or he is an artist, or a ghost, or he wanted to ensure that I'd be brought in on the case.
Probably the latter. You are ridiculous. Do you know that?
I am.
Mr. Holmes?
That's all they can say.
How many people have keys to the steam room?
We have just the one key for now, which Sir Gregory gave to me.
So, this morning you opened the steam room, and then?
I put the key inside my desk, but when they called, I couldn't find it. It had disappeared. I don't know where it is.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or receive any visitors?
No, sir, I did not.
Chilled champagne morning telegram. Bloody key. Nope. Select the correct answer.
Did you leave the baths at any time, or...
No, sir, I did not.
I must have missed an earth sample. Yeah. Oh, it was a morning telegram, yeah, right. I don't remember a morning telegram.
Did you leave the bath?
No, sir, I did not.
Is this something I fucking forgot?
You are not telling the truth, Mr. Phillips. You left your work this morning, and you went to the post office, where you dispatched a telegram at around 7:30.
But how could you... No,
The telegram was for someone in Manchester.
Mr. Holmes, it's I'll tell you everything. I left the baths at 7:20. My sister wrote to me yesterday, and she needed a reply, or our mother is unwell. I was away for 20 minutes, and I closed the baths on my way out.
Did you receive a reply from your sister?
No, she wasn't meant to. I just told her to pawn my old school uniform so that she could pay for the medication.
Did you check to see if the key was still in your desk when you returned?
No, I didn't. Please, Mr. Holmes, don't tell the police about this. Sir Gregory would give me the sack. I need this job.
I see. There is a bottle of champagne on ice in the changing room. Do you have any idea who left it there?
There is? Are you quite certain? I didn't pay any attention. Do you believe that it's important?
I love how you seem more exhausted with that fact than like, actually concerned. Our society is built off injustice. What else is new? That's great. Oh, that's not great. It's a analysis on this boot sample. Analysis on this earth sample. Video on the rails. I have this train whistle as a souvenir. Tran. Phillips is from Manchester. He takes care of both himself and the establishment he works, and is seen as a good employee. Went. Fuck. He went out this morning to send a telegram, probably to his home.
Probably, because his sister might be.
When did we learn this information?
Just now.
How did he know?
It just sounds like it.
We missed something. Search the criminal scene.
Now where is it?
Frigidarium.
An auditorium for refrigerators? They have really hard jobs. They can never stop. They need lots of motivations. They need motivational speakers, John. Box.
Glass plate negatives, a remarkable method for recording ancient civilizations. It is a glass plate negative of an Egyptian statue. A glass plate negative is missing. Archaeological findings, old clay pots with numbers inscribed upon them.
Journalists as possible in attendance to record this event and record it favorably. If we treat them well enough. Yes, money journalists. They help us generate money. I should like to recall my old friendship with Lord Blackmore and use the special funds of my Royal Archaeological Institute for this event. So Bentcliffe? It's got Bentcliffe. There's a few things among us who can claim any degree of unfamiliarity with the name of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. He's a gentleman who possesses the wealth, notoriety, and vigor to well match the finest of his ilk bound to England. His intellect the Lord's chamber carries influence inside the political world. There are those who would call him unforgiving, authoritarian, fascist. We would rather say that Sir Rodney is determined and ambitious. His presence at any archaeological site can only mean success for all of us. He's got. I guess he did get those money journalists. The Times. Miraculous reopening of the Strand Lane Roman baths. Excavation research. Research efforts were about to be halted when a singular arrival to report Sir Rodney Benjamin. Sir Rodney has taken over immediate control of the excavation, claiming that the site holds the key to great mystery. Pledged to update our readers with all the exciting news and developments. Not. Now that I've Wayne's Worlded myself out, let's look at this other thing. The metal plate, besides its archaeological interest, appears to be a part of something larger. At the present moment, I'm unable to determine exactly what it might be. Sherlock Holmes already knows the case.
A shape has been cut in the plate. What should be done with it?
Shape has been cut into the plate. What should be done with it?
Archaeological findings. Old clay pots with numbers inscribed upon them.
Archaeological tools.
Tools used by archaeologists in their research.
Archaeologians. Tongs.
I will need these tongs.
I think Holmes is a kleptomaniac. He's constantly just taking shit and stealing it without anyone's permission. All good citizens know you steal only after you ask.
This area serves as Sir Rodney Bentcliffe's workshop.
My God, are you all right? I wonder how this could have happened.
Yes, it is somewhat treacherous. Fortunately, I am unscathed. To where does this corridor lead?
To the frigidarium, the coal room.
Barely unscathed and by a very small margin. And treacherous is an understatement.
I disagree. Treacherous. That's what he just said.
No, he said
Well, I think treacherous is an understatement. This hole is a lying bitch. What? I mean, nothing. Nothing at all.
Those stones weigh tons. We won't move them.
It does not matter. If our investigation requires it, we shall ask for them to be removed.
Wow. I hope it doesn't come to that. The horrible task of asking people to do something for us. If worse comes to worse, we'll have to get some people to.
Mr. Holmes?
These baths are becoming sinister. All these events are bad for the baths. And my job. These baths are becoming sinister.
Any progress, Mr. Holmes?
I'm gonna try and talk to these guys here.
I can't understand what happened. Am I allowed to leave?
No.
Or do we have to stay here? Can't we go?
Vince, I told you no.
It's horrible. I can't talk at the moment.
The more you talk, the faster you'll go.
If you have to interrogate me, I'd like to be dressed properly first.
I'm fucking how often interrogate you anyway. Tell me.
I feel ill. I want to go.
Well, why don't you throw up on the floor? Just tell me what I want.
I'm in shock. I don't want to talk.
Blood traces wiped on the towel.
I found him. I touched his shoulder, thinking that he was just asleep.
You know what they say about waking old people, don't you?
I don't want to stay here. Let us out, please.
What? Oh. That's not actually what it is.
I should analyze this melted metal. The weapon is nowhere to be found.
Glasses. This must have been worn by some kind of scarred nerd.
One lens is cracked, probably due to the temperature of the brazier. These lenses are for myopia. The wearer is short-sighted.
I for one can't relate to that. Alright. So we got glasses. We found a strange melted metal, glasses belonging to a short-sighted nerd. Unlike myself. More blue. Analyzing. Is something wrong with Mr. Holmes and wants like please forgive me? It's just a process. It's just a process. Yes, I don't understand the effect. Analyzation complete. There was nothing. Scanning. What if he said it in like a sensual tone? It's like make scan. Can you imagine how uncomfortable he would be?
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
No, let them do their business in private. Then we can interrogate them at the prison. No objections. We found the blood. How about wait?
Please wait. I need to do something first.
Inspector Lestrade.
The steam room.
Inspector de Lestrade. Inspector de Lestrade.
Frigidarium.
Inspector, let's trade.
He's like, I don't want to trade. I want to trade. Why do people keep asking me to trade? Hey, my name is Inspector Lestrade. Artin Lestrade. I don't have anything to trade. I don't know why you keep asking me.
Let's trade.
My entire life you work in Tell me your strudel.
Tell me your strudel. Trade me your strudel. Trade me your strudel. There is bacon. Only this bacon is different. It smells like justice! And also copious amounts of cocaine. Okay. Let's do some... an analysis table. There we go.
Selenite. white clay particles. Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold. Interesting. According to the color and its composition, I deduce that this sample is white clay. Now, I need to find which area near London this sample belongs to.
White London clay. It's number 8. Number 8. 8. It's right there. The little purple spot right there.
The sample of dirt belongs to the White London clay region, located near the city of St. Albans.
Alright, analyze blood.
Let us analyze this blood sample.
Annihilate this blood sample.
This blood has not coagulated well. It seems very liquid. That is strange. Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface. Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface.
Horrible animation.
Water. This blood is heavily diluted with water.
It's found in a steam bath. Or, metal sample.
This is a piece of metal taken from a brazier. It appears to be silver, but I need to be sure. If it is silver, it will be possible to melt it, since silver's melting point is at around 900 degrees Celsius. Let us compare this sample with a silver penny by testing it with acid. If it changes color to match the result of a reaction with a silver coin, then it is silver. The reaction is the same red stain. It is silver, Britannia silver quality. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Sir Rodney's draft, 1893, a remarkable year for my working. Okay. For condemned for murder, immigration on the First Electric Railway, bankruptcy. Feenan condemned for murder. Dawson, nope. Institute of British Architects. Antique art for the British Museum, or yeah.
That is not the one I need.
House of Parliament, early Relach. Global economy, Das Kapital. Technology, Edison Machine Works, Nikola Tesla. No. Greek history, Napoleon. Ancient Egypt.
That is not the one I need.
Prussian militarism? What? Fucking crazy?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me fucking earlier?
That is not the one I need.
So remarkable year. First electric railway open. No, that's not it. Not a bankruptcy yet. No, it's not that. Architecture. Work of Edward Armitage.
That is not the one I need.
Oh!
That is not the one I need.
I don't know what the fuck.
That is not the one I need.
It's not the one
That is not the one I need.
Try it again.
Cocaine and toothache drops. Tuberculosis, the killer. Plant hormones, medical herbs, auto plants, nicotine and tobacco. Nope. Chemistry. Blood vaporization, toxic metal hair, chlorine, nope. Hemlock, talus, belladonna, arsenic, the king of poisons, gunshot wounds, abrasions, nope. Criminalistics, no. Martial arts, no. Marks and symbols, divine symbol, good symbol, skull. London guard supplies, road of acephalus.
I'll read this.
Anthropomorphy, no. Wounds and injuries, no. I think we're getting chat. I feel like I'm a fucking moron. Probably because I am.
Anthro? What's Anthro? Is that?
That is not the one I need.
That's anthropomorphy. I think it's like the body.
Oh, it's not one of it? Those symbols? It's Egypt or something?
Divine.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Nope. What the fuck is happening? Who is saying that?
No, don't do that. Just continue. Nope.
There we go. I feel okay. It's not here. It is not actually here.
That is not the one I need.
So it's, what is it? 1893 was a remarkable year for my...
Oh, 1893. I'm a fucking idiot. East Ave, no. Rock of Gibraltar's arrival.
Oh.
That is not
Nope,
the one
it's
I
East Ave
need.
Company. Nope.
That is not the one I need.
Bentliff's mummy? There we go.
Oh, yeah,
It's a mummy. The great excavation of Asuan has been taken over 3 years.
That's not the one I need.
That's not the one I need.
Like every page looks like that's not the one I need.
A mummy was found with an enucleated eye and was poised in an unusual position. The right hand was tensed as if reaching out for something, or to someone. The mummy was buried upright. She has been named the Desperate Mummy due to her very peculiar characteristics. Nearby could be read in Latin, "By the eye he was punished for he saw what he was not worthy." The mummy is believed to be a Roman rather than Egyptian, as some symbols are found in the tomb are more common with Mithric mysteries.
Here it is.
By the eye he was punished, for he saw that he was not worthy. Dreadful.
Bentcliffe's mummy. Alright, so good stuff. Okay. A perforated metal. Some shit. So we got a lump of silver in a brazier, a bottle of champagne, a telegram, a bloody key, and a cursed mummy.
On the sofa for the 3rd time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
That's right, no. Strand-laying ball. Including that a man was at a place. If you want to be pulls out a gun. For no reason. I have a feeling you're muffled.
All these events are...
I'm gonna talk to you, Lestrade.
Mr. Holmes, I should like to take the suspects to the yard. You can interrogate them there. Any objections?
Yes, I want to stay here. I want this game to go truly crazy.
Oh my god. Hey, they tend to confess more when they're in this vulnerable, shriveled state. No objections.
None, Lestrade.
Interrogate the superjects. artifact arrival. Sorority's rival saved the archaeologist's research at the baths. Champagne. The bottle of champagne and ice bucket was found inside the changing room. We don't know yet who brought it. Nope. Britannia silver's found and melted in the brazier. Nope. Yep. We have fuck all. We have fuck all to go off of.
Locked.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner asked not to be disturbed.
Fuck the code.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I am assisting the police with their investigation of the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. My name is Percival Blinkhorn.
I object, secret lady. Horns do not blink. Focused look. Attentive. An outstanding lover. Whoa. What's this? No. This is a mark.
Mark of the devil.
Could you fucking imagine? Rusty bracers. Shabby workwear. Not wealthy. Poor bitch. Fresh dirt stain. Recent earthwork. Huh. Similar to the victim. Callous.
Who are you?
Profession.
What is your occupation?
I'm an archaeologist, specializing in the Roman period. I'm working on several excavation sites at present, including the baths at Strand Lane.
Can you tell me more about the baths?
Well, we're hoping to retrieve a great many interesting artifacts from the site, and to list any items of value before their eventual restoration and exhibition.
And has it been successful?
It has, thanks to Sir Rodney.
Sir Rodney.
What was your relationship with Sir Rodney?
Well, I couldn't say that he was a kind man, no, but he was talented. I felt a great admiration for him, I must say.
Was it your first collaboration?
I had met Sir Rodney briefly once in Egypt, and I'd shared my researches with him. Surprisingly, my work did convince him to come here. He arrived only a couple of months ago.
Surprisingly?
Well, Sir Rodney was a cold man, and so very secretive, too. But I learned so much from him. I can't believe that he's dead.
What did you see?
Can you tell me what you saw today?
Well, we entered the steam room, and we all went to sit down. The steam was particularly dense, and I didn't see anything much further after that. I just heard Mr. Garrow shouting, but we all ran for the door and bumped into each other. I was very alarmed by this point.
What did you do?
Well, the door was stuck, and with all the steam, it was quite frightening. I was barely able to see my own feet. Garrow was covered in blood.
Do you believe that Garrow killed Sir Rodney?
Oh, no. Garrow couldn't harm a fly.
He's a weak bitch. He didn't have the strength to crush a fly. Anything unusual?
Can you recall any recent event that would occur to you now as being a little strange?
Well, yesterday we had a small argument.
Is that all?
No. Sir Rodney informed me that he was to attend the London Archaeological Congress with me. Then he advised me of quite the opposite. And rather aggressively, too.
Melted silver.
We discovered some melted silver in the brazier. Did you put it there?
No. Silver, you say? No, I don't know how it got there.
Did you place the bottle of champagne in the changing room?
No, I did not.
Who did? Tell me now.
Tell me now.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good day to you, Sir Gregory. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the murder that took place this morning. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Tell me, Mr. Holmes, will I need to stay here for very much longer?
He's sort of a patrician. A shitty patrician at that. His face. Richie rich asshole over here. He's got a...
Look at his eyes. It says everything.
Cold and dead like a dog's eyes.
Arrogant look.
Like he doesn't need to be here.
And needs to be here. First he did was to leave. Screw him off.
God doesn't care about poor people. Signature. Aristocratic roots. Golden chain. He appears to be a man of rhymes. He appears to...
Something tells me this guy has some money. He's got money, you know, somewhere.
Somewhere on his person, he's got money. Signet ring.
Alright, one more. What does that word look like to you? Chick's nose.
His nose. Oh. Wow. Oh, mouth shape. Disdain.
I didn't think that.
You're professional.
You are the manager of the baths, is that correct?
Yes, I'm passionate about archaeology. I wanted to restore the ruins. My ambition is to open the baths to the public. Living archaeology can be a profitable business, although now I'm not so sure.
I see. When do you wish to begin using the baths?
When the archaeological researches are over, I will be free to complete the restoration. It is the usual process.
Sir Rodney.
What was your relationship with Sir Rodney Bentcliffe?
We were not particularly close. He had an unpleasant temperament, suspicious, authoritarian, unkind. People possessed by genius may be forgiven for their nature, but not by me.
Was he obstructive?
Not at all. Everything he did led us to greater success. He helped us increase the potential of the building.
Please tell me what happened this morning.
The test that we performed this morning was a success. The steam was working well. But then, of course, that awful murder.
What did you see?
The steam was too thick to see anything. But ask Garrow. He saw the body first.
Alright. Recent unusual event?
Had Sir Rodney exhibited any recent strange behavior?
Look, I'm not a suspicious fellow, but I think that he had professional interests elsewhere that he did not wish us to know about.
Why should you think that? Where?
I have no idea. But after all, it was not my business.
Melted silver.
Some melted silver was found inside the steam room brazier. Do you know where it came from?
Silver? No.
Champagne?
Did you bring a bottle of champagne to the baths?
Absolutely not. Sir Rodney did, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I can be helpful at the moment.
Do you have something else to ask me?
I'm not sure that I can be helpful at the moment.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Piece of shit. Chain him to the floor.
A good day to you. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I am Tristram Garrow.
Badly shaven. Badly shaven. Eye bags. Where he keeps his eyes. For most of the time. Dirty clothes. Oh no! No, what? Not another one of these fucks. Badly shaped. Oh, is that scar? Oh, wait. What? Perspiration. Sweating. Sweating. Your profession.
What is your occupation?
I am a counsellor at the district chamber.
And what were you doing at the baths?
Well, I follow the researchers. I am interested in archaeology.
You follow them?
Yes. So many things happened and we need to know. Or perhaps it's better hidden.
What?
I beg your pardon, Mr. Garrow.
I meant nothing by that. I apologise.
Sir Rodney.
What was it like to work with Sir Rodney?
It was like working with a genius. He was a hard man, but then you know this world is hard. There are always people who want to steal from you, and he trusted me. But oh,
are you feeling unwell?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is I. I remember. Oh, I feel so sorry.
Do you need anything?
I feel bad. I hear. No, nothing. I'm better now.
The suspicious character. The murder.
Please try to recall what you saw today.
The room was so hot. I had to remove my glasses. I was not feeling so very well in there.
But you found the body.
I saw the knife, you know, flying through the air. I saw the blood. I tried to escape. I don't remember.
Saw the knife? What did it look like?
Everything was as if in a nightmare. It all happened so fast. The knife was shining like gold.
Like gold. Recent unusual event?
Had Sir Rodney exhibited any recent strange behaviour?
Well, he had been rather secretive these past few days. Last Thursday, for example, I saw him leave. When he returned, it was very late. He showed me some wet coins, Roman coins, and he started to laugh.
Huh? Could you give us any context around that? Melted silver.
We discovered some melted silver in the brazier. Did you put it there?
It didn't help. The power is too strong.
What? What the fuck was that? Did it just cut off, or is that just me?
Did you place the bottle of champagne in the changing room?
What? No.
Garrow appears to be rather mentally disturbed. Either that, or he is a good actor.
Let's look at this shit. Garrow. Tristan Garrow is in his early 30s. He suffers from severe myopia. I don't know why I had trouble pronouncing that simple word, myopia. He seems to be very disturbed, which is possibly due to his shock of the murder, but not from that alone. He is unshaven and clad in old, dirty clothes. Percival Blinkhorn. Percival Blinkhorn is a true archaeologist who lives and breathes his work. He has remained in his profession for 15 or 20 years, and still seems to be enjoying it. Gregory Pitkin is the model of an upper-class citizen. He is rich, in a well-respected position, and he considers this his birthright. Whatever he may have done, he certainly does not believe that he should be in prison for it. Let's look at this. Inside Sir Rodney's life. Sir Rodney was lying to everyone about his work. He was working alone and secretly. Let's see what broken glasses. Inside the brazier. Britannian silver was found melted in the brazier because they're found right next to each other. Interesting. Rodney's lie. Sir Rodney's arrival saved the archaeologist's research in the baths, or Rodney's lie. Sir Rodney was lying to everyone about his work. He was working alone and secretly. Nope. 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 I'm bad. Not good at it. melted in the brazier.
You tried full blood or something?
What?
Yeah, very liquid blood with I don't know.
With champagne?
No.
Does the champagne make your blood watery? Inside the brazier. Rodney's lie. No. Inside the brazier? No. Nope. I don't think we have enough. Okay. There are more leads we gotta follow. Alright. Next place. Okay, find the missing weapon that was used to kill Sir Rodney Bentcliffe, and suspects are in Scotland Yard for rape interrogation. The belongings of the victim are witnesses ready to be examined in Scotland Yard. Okay. More shit I need to look at.
Locked.
Fuck. Nope. Nope. Here. Time to look at their stuff. Pitkins.
An embroidered silk handkerchief. A fountain pen with solid gold trim.
Huh. The weapon, it glimmered like gold. Visiting card.
Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card.
Blinkhorn's belongings. Letter from Pitkin. Sir Gregory Pitkin, manager to Mr. Blinkhorn. Dear sir, the interests that I represent require the situation at the baths to be changed for the better. At the present time, the frigidarium excavations remain under your direction, yet the works have not been progressed. You have failed to find anything of value, and we are unable to make the frigidarium accessible to the public. The frigidarium is a valuable asset for the recreation of the Roman baths experience. I urge you to complete your work within the next 2 months. You have this remaining time to conclude your archaeological research and to find yourself another workplace. To Mr. Blinkhorn.
An ordinary pencil.
Garrow's belongings. What is this? Drug file.
A file with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
Oh, so an antidepressant.
When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself.
Bentcliffe's belongings.
A
Map.
hand-drawn map.
It's in pretty good condition. Coin. Roman coin.
An old and rather dirty coin.
Oh, hey.
Rodney Bentcliffe's notebook. It may contain something of interest. The last pages were torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil. To begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces. and then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well...
63. His right eyeball has been burst, pierced to the hilt by a curved-bladed knife. The blade cut through the orbit of the frontal bone, ripping apart the frontal lobe and the corpus callosum, after which, completing its trajectory in the cerebellum, caused hemorrhagic lesions. All these injuries led directly to the death of the individual. At the upper lobe of the right lung, there is an old injury filled with an amount of mucus and silicated debris that may correspond to a chronic infection by elements likely inhaled by a burial chamber, decaying mummy, for example, or a dried and decomposing food product intended to accompany the deceased in their grave. The remainder of the body does not appear to have been damaged. According to Sir Rodney, he's about to make a remarkable discovery. His arrival saved the baths. Nope, it's not the same thing.
Or Sir Rodney's liar.
Oh. There we go.
Nugget.
A mortal secret. Why would Sir Rodney be hiding anything? Could his discovery be the motive for the crime? Oh, what the fuck? What is this? The last expedition. Find out where Sir Rodney was several days before his murder, and uncover his precious secret. But there are some things I need to talk about.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
It's so threatening. He's trying to scare the shit out of him. Old coin.
This is the coin that he showed me. It is from the 3rd century.
It must be very rare.
No, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. This will help me to calm down.
Do be careful with the dosage.
I will.
I mean it.
We just gave him drugs.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Your work.
How was the work progressing before Sir Rodney's arrival?
Rather slowly, I would say.
Pilkins' letter. Because you're gonna get fired.
Sir Gregory, could you please explain this letter? You expressed the wish to call off the research work at the baths.
It was all about Blinkhorn. He was merrily digging away and taking very little care about it, ruining everything and finding nothing of any value.
But the arrival of Sir Rodney changed your mind?
Sir Rodney's work was extremely promising, and it was good for the bath's publicity. So yes, I changed my mind.
Are you aware that Mr. Garrow is under a form of medication?
Garrow? No, but I never liked that parasite.
Do you believe him to be capable of murder?
Well, he did have blood on him. Does that make him a murderer?
I don't know. Why are you asking
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. What can you tell me about Garrow?
Well, he always looks so sad, and he has been acting strangely lately. He complains about voices and visions. I will keep an eye on him because I'm worried.
Your work?
How well were your researchers progressing before Sir Rodney's arrival?
Rather well.
So bloody key. Pitkin's letter.
This letter reveals that Sir Gregory was prepared to put a stop to your work.
Yes. But since Sir Rodney's arrival, he had calmed down. He allowed us to work. I'm not sure what they agreed on.
What will happen now that Sir Rodney is dead?
Well, I haven't thought about that. But if it's needed, I will fight to defend Sir Rodney's expectations.
Alright. Anything else?
I'm not sure that I can be helpful at the moment.
Do you have something else to ask me?
I'm trying to rest.
Well, time to get down to it. Examine.
According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs. The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age.
Rotate his body? Alright, wait.
An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which resulted in instant death, as the coroner's report says.
Let's see. Anything else? No. Well, bruised back.
Some light bruising caused by a rope.
Rope.
The bruising is in lines. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
What should we do next, Holmes?
What should we do indeed, Mr. Holmes? Let's search a map, okay? Got it? Let's see, find the missing weapon. Of course. What important discovery was Rodney making? Belongs to the victim, the witness ready to examine skulls. There's more shit to examine, apparently.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you care. Alright. Let's get out of here. Look in the evidence room. Oh, I thought I examined this one. Oh, did I not examine everything? Oh.
This ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room. I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver. An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
Oh, here we go. Let's talk about the bridge with someone.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Yeah? Well, you looked at me, I assumed that you...
Do you recognize this ring?
Certainly. It's the famous Aswan ring. Sir Rodney brought it back from his last campaign in Egypt.
And he kept it for himself?
Sir Rodney has had his own particular ideas of archaeology.
Huh. Is that it, huh?
Do you have something else to ask me?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Tell me about the ring.
His ring! Oh, it should be destroyed.
Why do you say that?
It is a cursed ring, digging dark secrets.
Really?
It is after me now. I know it. I shouldn't have worked on it in the workshop. It's too late now.
Oh, interesting. Alright, time to find this. Alright, Shoemaker Street. Poor picture of that. Alright.
On the sofa for the third time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
What's this? Letters? From whom? Power of the Empire is growing stronger day by day. Oh, as yesterday, the Mexican consortium Carcal began serving the cause of the British Empire. This agreement is undeniably profitable for London and England overall, and a great achievement for our exceptional diplomatic and political community. In other news, a train has mysteriously disappeared en route to Evesham railway station. Interesting. That's pretty interesting. Okay.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Where was it? You see something, say something. Ooh. Fucking asshole. You're very funny.
Hilarious.
You're fucking hilarious. Oh my god, no, that's like how fucking funny you are. Move the tiny map. Alright. Alright. No. Fuck is this?
Watson, pack your bag. We are visiting a location in St. Albans marked on Sir Rodney's map.
St. Albans. Still the notes. According to Sir Rodney's notes, he was about to make a remarkable discovery. Garrow's drug is under strong medication. Continue. Search the excavation. Alright. Well, I think we should call it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should probably call it.
that's a pretty lengthy section, I think.
That is pretty lengthy. We've been doing mostly 5-hour sections So does my friend. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with this another time. Thank you.